see what kind of brought in the whole a lot of people hate this term, but walking simulator games. What made it really popular, I guess. But I think the last time I played this game is before I started streaming on Twitch. So wanted to revisit it and see if what I liked about the game is still what I actually enjoy about it. So let's find out all that other jazz. Ooh. Also, if anyone in the VODs are wondering why am I playing in a dark room, it's a late night sleepy stream. It's new. Closed captions, yes. Large captions. Yeah? Nah, we don't need large captions. If you're that blind, it shouldn't be. Oh no. I don't know. Can't really argue. Full screen. Crosshair disabled. Advanced. I think everything is pretty much there. I think we are good. Huh, you can have director's commentary since this is the landmark edition, so get to do all that. Do I have to like move? Okay, there we go.
Dear Esther, the morning after I was washed ashore, salt in my ears, sand in my mouth, and the waves always at my ankles, I felt as though everything had conspired to this one last shipwreck. I remembered nothing but water, stones in my belly and my shoes, threatening to drag me under to where only the most listless of creatures swim.
Oh, you know what? What's kind of going on? Can I not pause? Okay, there we go. There we go. I was wondering what was going on. I think there's a certain Easter egg in this game. I'm trying to remember what the Easter egg is. I think it's in this room. It's like, I don't know if it's through a window or something like that. Hey, what chemical compound is this? Yeah, when I went into this building, I thought it was like a horror game at first. It's like, oh shit, what the fuck did I get myself into? Here. Yeah, like almost every button. Yeah, I think every button just zooms everything in. Zooms your, I don't think there's a sprint button in this game, so you're gonna have to keep in mind about that. Yeah, no sprint button in this game. That's why they call it a walking simulator. Because people fucking hate it. Yeah, this whole entire game takes place on this island. The music has begun.
At night, you can see the lights sometimes from a passing tanker or trawler. From up on the cliffs, they are mundane. But down here, they fugue into ambiguity. For instance, I cannot readily tell if they belong above or below the waves. The distinction now seems banal. Why not everything and all at once? There's nothing better to do here than indulge in contradictions whilst waiting for the fabric of life to unravel.
Oh, what's this? Ambiguity at its finest.
I have found the ship's manifest, crumpled and waterlogged under a stash of paint cans. It tells me that along with this present cargo, there was a large quantity of antacid yogurt bound for the European market. It must have washed out to sea. God knows there are no longer gulls or goats here to eat it.
Find car parts. Well, that axle's all fucked up. Wait, is that the only thing here? Or is there actually something over here? Can I like go through a hole? Feels like I'm crouching. Not. No. There's nothing over here. Alright, that's cool. Good enough for me. Since this is a walking simulator, I can play this with one hand. No need for high octane actions. That means I can drink too. I'm guessing I'm gonna have to go up now. Just a nice walk on the beach on a Friday night. Good times. Drinking a twisted tea. Lulling people to sleep with my boring Friday stream. This is as boring as the stream's gonna get, guys. Enjoy it. I know there are some people that like low octane stuff like this, so I do want to enjoy as much as I can. I wonder if there are speedrunners for this game. I wonder.
The mount is clearly the focal point of this landscape. It almost appears so well placed as to be artificial. I find myself easily slipping into the delusional state of ascribing purpose, deliberate motive to everything here. Was this island formed during the moment of impact? When we were torn loose from our moorings and the seatbelts cut motorway lanes into our chests and shoulders, did it first break surface then?
Morals indeed.
When someone had died or was dying, or was so ill they gave up what little hope they could sacrifice, they cut parallel lines into the cliff, exposing the white chalk beneath. You could see them from the mainland or the fishing boats, and know to send aid or impose a cordon of protection, and wait a generation until whatever pestilence stalked the cliff paths died along with its hosts. My lines are just for this, to keep any would-be rescuers at bay. The infection is not simply of the flesh.
It's of the mind. Ooh, wonder what's down here.
They were God-fearing people, those shepherds. There was no love in the relationship. Donnelly tells me that they had one Bible that was passed around in strict rotation. It was stolen by a visiting monk in 1776, 2 years before the island was abandoned altogether. In the interim, I wonder, did they assign chapter and verse to the stones and grasses, marking the geography with a superimposed significance that they could actually walk the Bible and inhabit its contradictions?
And thus we must think amongst. Think about this stuff. 1 second. There's one thing that is bugging me. I know it's gonna bug you guys too if I don't fix it. Let's see. Camera. Cam border. I need to fix its property. Something's going on with it. 1 second. If I can remember how to get to it. Alright, let's see. Because it's not doing it smoothly for some reason. I don't know why. Try playback when the source becomes active. No. Use hardware decoding when available. Let's see if that fixed it. Might have fixed it. I think that fixed it. It's all smooth now. Yeah, I don't know why. I was doing that during the late shift stream. But I think I fixed it. Yeah. Good shit. Vince fixed stuff. Always a Q, no, not a Q&A, but it's always a, what do you call it? A tech support.
Esther, I met Paul. I made my own little pilgrimage. My Damascus, a small semi-detached on the outskirts of Wolverhampton. We drank coffee in his kitchen and tried to connect to one another.
Connect?
Although he knew I hadn't come in search of an apology,
British people don't connect.
He still spiraled in panic, thrown high and lucid by his own dented bonnet. Responsibility had made him old. Like us, he'd already passed beyond any conceivable boundary of life.
Yeah, if I remember correctly,
I gave you presents outside your retreat in this interim space between cliff and beach. I would leave you loaves and fishes.
My favorite part is
been depleted,
the
and I've run out of bread. I would row you back to your homeland in a bottomless boat, but I fear we would both be driven mad by the chatter of the sea creatures.
The cave in this game is my favorite part. Turn your fucking light off. I want to enjoy the luminescence. Actually, there's a part in the cave where I just fell in love with this game. It's like the imagery in this game is so fucking cool. I don't think this is the cave though. No, this isn't the cave. Damn it. Where's the actual main cave that I fell in love with? I don't know if I actually came across this one. Right, let's try and find that one cave that made me fall in love with this game. I like how just one part in a game can make you fall in love with it if it's short enough. Wait a minute. What the fuck is over there? It's like an opening, maybe a cave. I hope I didn't miss the cave that I like. That would suck. I don't think you can though. I think it's like one of those areas where you have to pass through in order to finish the game. No, yeah, there is no sprint button in this game. Even though it's tempting to just, just do a quick little jog in this game. Just gotta absorb the surroundings, This is a very, like, walking simulators, quote unquote, are very, they're very niche. And, due to the fact that people call them walking simulators. Probably as self-explanatory.
I'm not alone here, even though I'm equally sure it is simply a delusion brought upon by circumstance. I do not, for instance, remember where I found the candles, or why I took it upon myself to light such a strange pathway. Perhaps it is only for those who are bound to follow.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those games where you just push forward, move in the direction you need to go to, and enjoy the story. And the surroundings. Don't forget to look at the surroundings. It's one of those, and a lot of people don't have a problem with FMV games, where they're literally just playable movies, but they have a problem with this though. It's weird. Like they want to be a little bit more lazy than they should be, but at the same time, they want to be very picky on what they hate. And games like Dear Esther and all that are games that a lot of people bust on especially when this game first came out. It's like, what the fuck? You pay for a fucking walking game? Oh shit! And then it becomes like a cult classic after about a year or two because people find out that it's a really cool experience. It's one of those games where you just have to be absorbed within the experience.
Dear Esther, I have now driven the stretch of the M5 between Exeter and Bristol over 21 times. But although I have all the reports and all the witnesses and have cross-referenced them within a millimetre using my ordnance survey maps, I simply
M5?
cannot find the location. You'd think there would be marks to serve as some evidence. It's somewhere between the turn-off for Sanford and the welcome brake services. But although I can always see it in my rear-view mirror, I have as yet been unable to pull ashore.
Wait a minute, isn't the M5, like the M5 highway and all that? If anyone's watched the show Good Omens, isn't that the M5? Or is that a different highway? Like a giant fucking highway in the UK. Whoa, what is that? I saw something. Yo, I saw something. What the fuck was that? Oh, there it is. There's a ghost. I swear, I saw something. What the fuck? I never saw that before. That's so weird. I don't think I've ever saw that. So I know there are like ghost Easter eggs in this game, but that's clearly one that I think you have to see. Alright. So this is it's like a pretty old shipwreck. Looking at the condition of the wood and everything. I have a feeling you can't get up on the ship. Seeing if I can find a ghost looking at me or something. Well, that's cool though. I think I saw a ghost actually running across the ridge. Or ghosts don't run, they don't have a physical embodiment. What does that say?
There must be a hole in the bottom of the boat. How else could new hermits have arrived?
Wait, what do you mean by hermits? As in like hermit crabs? Also, give me a second. Now I keep interrupting the experience. But I do want to see just one thing. Okay, we're good. My eyes were playing tricks on me while I was like looking at the actual gameplay through what's
I
his
had
face.
kidney stones, and you visited me in the hospital.
Oh God, kidney
After
stones.
the operation, when I was still half submerged in anesthetic, your outline and your speech both blurred. Now my stones have grown into an island and made their escape, and you have been rendered opaque by the car of a drunk.
Yeah, no one likes kidney stones. That's for sure. So I think even as a female, like that shit's painful, man. Guys, it sucks because it still has to kind of go through, well, our thing, a thingamajig. Yeah, this is where the ghost was like traveling, so I'm kind of wondering if we'll see it further up.
All night the boy has kept me lucid. I sat when I was at the very edge of despair, when I thought I would never unlock the secret of the island. I sat at the edge and I watched the idiot boy blink through the night.
Excuse me.
He's retarded, and he has no thought in his metal head but to blink each wave and each minute aside until the morning comes and renders him blind as well as deaf-mute. In many ways, we have much in common.
I wonder if one day when I sneeze, I'm gonna like knock out one of the sound suppressants in the room, because it's only hanging by like a thumbtack. So, kind of wonder if I sneeze hard enough, I can actually knock it off the wall. Is it me, or did I just do a whole entire 180? God damn it. I just did a whole entire circle. The fuck? Making Dear Esther longer than it should be. But I think I did get some like dialogue from him I probably wouldn't have got. So if you don't actually like explore throughout the thing, you won't hear certain dialogues. Wait, what's that over there? Why does that rock look weird? I was just over there and I didn't see it shine like that. I do have to say though, for anyone listening right now, I did have a very bad poop day. My butt is not well. I wonder... Oh, I wonder if I need to go over there. It would make sense. I just really wish there was a sprint button. And I think I need to go over there. I thought it came from there, but I guess it didn't. I think it came from the other area. Maybe if I just push straight forward, that's the fastest way I can get there. Unless they have a hidden, like, invincible wall. Yeah, I think this is a way to go. I hope. Unless I just did a whole entire 360. 360 walk through. Oh, now we got a choice. Go up or down. God damn it. Choices! Choices, choices, choices. This whole entire freaking night I had to do choices. Ooh.
What charnel house lies at the foot of
Oh
the
shit, you can actually fall down.
How many dead shepherds could fill this hole?
Oh. Oh. Stuck in Armin. What that means? Ah. I didn't know you could actually die in this game. Holy shit. I actually died in Dear Esther. Yeah, achievement, and I got a trophy for it too and everything. Fuck yeah. Oh, what's this? Interesting, it's all... Is it stone?
Climb, away from the sea and towards the center. It is a straight line to the summit, where the evening begins to coil around the aerial and squeeze the signals into early silence. The bothy squats against the mount to avoid the gaze of the aerial. I too will creep under the island like an animal and approach it from the northern shore.
That doesn't look good. Bloody. Or I assume is blood, but is not. Boom, boom. Boom, boom.
The bothy was constructed originally in the early 1700s. By then, shepherding had formalized into a career. The first habitual shepherd was a man called Jakobsen, from a lineage of migratory Scandinavians. He was not considered a man of breeding by the mainlanders. He came here every summer whilst building the bothy, hoping eventually that becoming a man of property would secure him a wife and a lineage. Donnelly records that it did not work. He caught some disease from his malcontented goats and died 2 years after completing it. There was no one to carve white lines into the cliff for him either.
Have you ever seen how big those white lines are in the cliff? Don't blame them. Don't blame. Hey, it's that. Oh, it's different though. Alright, time to go to the bigger house. The actual house. Is it me or the person not actually on the wall? It's weird. What does the eye... What does it... What is it? What is the elf I see? Legolas.
When the oil lamps ran out, I didn't pick up a torch, but used the moonlight to read by. When I've pulled the last shreds of sense from it, I will throw Donnelly's book from the cliffs, and perhaps myself with it. Maybe it will wash back up through the caves and erupt from the spring when the rain comes, making its return to the hermit's cave. Perhaps it will be back on the table when I wake. I think I may have thrown it into the sea several times before.
Is that even... No, that's not English. Well then. Oh, Jesus. Fuck you, bird. Oh, hey. There's that ghost again. Shit, I totally keep missing it like at the last second. But I see it in my corner of the eye and it's like, oh, there's that same fucking ghost. I wonder if Esther is still alive or Esther's dead and we're just doing a memoriam. And I totally kind of actually forgot about the whole entire story in this game, to be honest. That's why I don't mind replaying it. It's like, I kind of forgot what's going on.
In a footnote, the editor comments that at this point, Donnelly was going insane as syphilis tore through his system like a drunk driver. He is not to be trusted. Many of his claims are unsubstantiated, and although he does paint a colourful picture, much of what he says may have been derived directly from his fever. But I've been here, and I know, as Donnelly did, that this place is always half imagined. Even the rocks and caves will shimmer and blur with the right eyes.
My goodness. Is that true?
They found Jakobsen in early spring. The thaw had only just come. Even though he'd been dead nearly 7 months, his body had been frozen right down to the nerves and had not even begun to decompose. He'd struggled halfway down the cliff path, perhaps looking for some lost goat, or perhaps in a delirium, and expired, curled into a claw right under the winter moon. Even the animals shunned his corpse.
Wow.
The mainlanders
It must have been
bringing home
fucking
unlucky. Donnelly
cold as
claims they
shit.
dragged it to the caves to thaw out and rot, but he is proving an unreliable witness.
I have to say, like, a lot of people that haven't, like...
Climbing down to the caves, I slipped and fell and have injured my leg. I think the femur is broken. It is clearly infected. The skin has turned a bright, tight pink, and the pain is crashing in on waves, winter tides against my shoreline, drowning out the ache of my stones. I struggled back to the bothy to rest, but it has become clear that there is only one way this is likely to end.
Death.
The medical supplies I looted from the trawler have suddenly found their purpose. They will keep me lucid for my final ascent.
Mm-hmm. Wait, so am I supposed to be hurt? I was about to say, like, for the people that were probably playing this game and wasn't really paying attention to the story almost to the letter, were probably incredibly confused. It was like, what the fuck is going on in this story? Like, just listen. Just listen. Open your ears, man. Smell with your eyes. I think this is the cave. Maybe. Now, this isn't the part yet. I think we have to go deeper. Jacobson! Jacobson!
Donnelly's addiction is my one true constant.
Stalactites.
Although I wake in false dawns and find the
a lot of
landscape
stalactites.
changing, flowing in constantly through my tears, I know his reaching is always upon me.
Wakey wakey. Eggs and bakey. Ah, this is the part, I think. Look at all these stalactites. So pretty. God, I love caves. But at the same time, I never want to get stuck in one of them. Why is there a candle of all places down here lit? Someone was recently here. Can we go in the water? We can. Yeah, this is when the actual beauty of the game just kind of shows itself, is within this cave. I don't even think that's the most prettiest part in this whole entire game, though. And I think it's just a little further on in this cave. Maybe. I think. I don't think the stalactites were the prettiest things, though. There were other things in this cave that I fell in love with. This is where stalactites and stalagmites meet.
Junction and come up the hard shoulder like radio signals from another star. It took 21 minutes for them to arrive. I watched Paul time it to the second on his watch.
I don't remember if there's anything here. Right. Further on we go. Waterfall. Ooh. Pretty. God, imagine actually coming across something like this. Also like that little effect of water hitting the ceiling. God, it's so good. Alright, time for me to fall down here, I think. Whoa, okay, cool. Really don't remember this part. Oh yeah, this little scenery is really cool too. I just love the lighting. The lighting is so pretty. Man, imagine if I could just somehow have the imagination to paint something like this. Capture it in paintings. Yeah, I think the cave was my favorite part of the whole game. It's like, oh, so pretty. Yeah, it's a little creepy because it gets a little slimy and green. And it's like, ew, cave goo. If anyone's ever been in a cave before, you know what I mean. It's that lime slime. Oh yeah, here we go again. This time I don't think I'm supposed to fall. Yeah, this area is really cool. Just don't fall, Vince. Don't you fucking fall. Yeah, this part of the game would probably be like super slippery and shit. Dark Souls of walking simulators. Oh. Maybe I'm actually getting closer to the part where I think I really love. I think. So I do remember something that was just awe-striking when it came to me really enjoying like the visual aspect of this game. Something just blew my mind when I played this game. I don't know if I already passed it or not though. It might be this part right here.
I'm traversing my own death.
Maybe not. Oh,
The infection in my leg is
I think
an
it's this
oil
way.
rig that dredges black muck up from deep inside my bones. I swallow fistfuls of diazepam and paracetamol to stay conscious. The pain flows through me like an underground sea.
Blue crystals. Is this the beginning of the Dark Crystal? Maybe it isn't this way. But I do need to cross anyway. It's probably gotta be some really cold water. Hey, it's a natural bridge. Or is it? Probably is a natural bridge, so. Someone carved it with their own. I'm not gonna say what they're gonna carve it with, but yeah. Let's just not go there. Oh yeah, while we have this nice quiet moment, is anyone waiting to get that one achievement in Stanley's Parable? To where, I think, what, how many years was it? 2 or 3 years? Before you play the game again, and then you can get an achievement? You have to wait to not play the game for a certain amount of years, and then you get an achievement for it. Technically, you can kind of cheat with that by turning your system clock in a different direction. No, changing it.
This is a drowned man's face, reflected in the moonlit waters. It can only be a dead shepherd who has come to drunk drive you home.
Oh, at least the water's pretty. Ooh, I like that view. Oh, that's a screenshot. Wait, how do I get back up? Help? Wait. Ah, got it. How do I get back up? I'm not done with this game yet. I don't know what you would have to do to not be able to beat, Dear Esther. What is this? Damascus is taken. Someone's been busy. I always notice when there's something a little weird going on in the game, the music is also distorted. Away from being city. Oh, it's this part. Yeah, we're getting. I really hope this is the part, because there's something has to do with something glowing. Yeah, I like the luminescent plants. There's something really cool about it. Okay, guess I might have to go under the water for a bit. This isn't scary at all. Wait. I thought I heard something in the water. How long can you actually stay in the water in Dear Esther? Well, if he doesn't have to breathe, we'll assume that he's already dead. Holy shit. Alright, he has better lung capacity than most characters in the game in any of the games I played in the longest time. I'm gonna assume he's dead. Makes sense. We're probably in like some type of purgatory, assessing our life. Well, I don't think we have a choice. You know, the way he was hitting that wall. Oh, whoa. Whoa. Is this an analogy that city life is bullshit? And also, if you go on a surgery table, you owe pretty much your whole entire life to the hospitals. Is that message? Oh, I can swim upwards. Oh. Oh, I think that's the photo right there. Need to go up just a little bit higher, but right there, that is the perfect photo in the game. Bam, right there. Perfect photo. There's a line that, I don't know if it's the moon, but a line in the moon just perfectly within that opening. And it's like, oh my god. Photography porn. Fucking love it. Oh, my walking has gone slower. Probably want me to enjoy this view. Actually, what? I don't think that's maybe it's just an opening. Not sure. Esther. Oh, yeah, you guys can't see the actual name of the achievement. Maybe it was just an opening. That's weird. Who are lighting these candles? But that is a big moon. Maybe I should go this way.
I sat here and watched two jets carve parallel white lines into the sky. They charted their course, and I followed them for 21 minutes until they turned off near Sanford and were lost. If I were a gull, I would abandon my nest and join them. I would starve my brain of oxygen and suffer delusions of transcendence. I would tear the bottom from my boat and sail across the motorways until I reached this island once again.
See if we'll get any transcendency through here. Don't touch the water, Harry. Oh, what's going on? Were we not supposed to be in the water? Oh. Whoa, what the fuck was that? Whoa. Wait a minute. I'm gonna stay down in the water. I'm gonna see what the fuck happens. Whoa. Okay. I have never seen that. Or heard. It's interesting. There's a candle over there. I must go. Is there something I need to see? Or is there just a candle over here? I wonder if there is something I need to see over here. Or do I need to jump in? Eh. So let's follow the candle lights. Go up there in a bit. And I think the game ends up there. So we're getting closer and closer to our end goal. Almost like memorial candles. That's what it reminds me of.
We shall begin to assemble our own version of the North Shore. We will scrawl in dead languages and electrical diagrams and hide them away for future theologians to muse and mumble over.
Theologians?
We will send a letter to Esther Donnelly and demand her answer. We will mix the paint with ashes and tarmac and the glow from our infections. We will paint a moon over the Sanford Junction and blue lights falling like stars along the hard shoulder.
Nothing over there. What's over here though? It's a lot of candles in one little area. Bunch of machine parts. What? The hell's that sound? Is there a ghost somewhere? Huh. That was strange. I don't think I've ever heard that sound in this game. Yeah, this is if anyone wondering why I'm playing.
There were chemical diagrams on the posters on the walls on the waiting room. It seemed appropriate at the time. Still life abstractions of the processes which had already begun to break down your nerves and your muscles in the next room. I crammed diazepam as I once crammed for chemistry examinations. I am revising my options for a long and happy life.
Yeah, if anyone's wondering why I'm playing this pretty late into the night, it's because we're trying to lull our community to sleep, or any newcomers to sleep. Have a good night, guys. Except for the creepy music doesn't help.
From here, I can see my armada. I collected all the letters I'd ever meant to send to you, if I'd have ever made it to the mainland, but had instead collected at the bottom of my rucksack, and I spread them out along the lost beach. Then I took each and every one, and I folded them into boats. I folded you into the creases, and then, as the sun was setting, I set the fleet to sail. Shattered into 21 pieces, I consigned you to the Atlantic, and I sat here until I'd watched all of you sink.
What about these eggs? Is this an analogy? There's his armada. And it really doesn't like me being under the water. Like, fine, I won't go under the water. Alright, now we're gonna go up. Kinda. Unless that's our... I think that's our trail over there that we need to find. We need to somehow get to. Do what to say after playing this game though, I'm tired. After, well, that, playing late night and then playing this game has been a very good two combinations of games to... We're having a hard time going to sleep.
Over dead on the road to Damascus. They resuscitated him by hitting him in the chest with stones gathered by the roadside. He was lifeless for 21 minutes.
Jesus.
Certainly long enough for the oxygen levels in his brain to have decreased and caused hallucinations and delusions of transcendence. I'm running out of painkillers, and the moon has become almost unbearably bright.
Let me get to the... Oh, there's actually slopes I can't climb. Alright, nothing there. Just wanted to see. It would have been interesting. I should probably play this off stream with the developers' commentary. See what they talk about. So I do kind of wonder if...
On my voyage in a paper boat without a bottom. I will fly to the moon in it. I've been folded along a crease in time, a weakness in the sheet of life. Now you've settled on the opposite side of the paper to me. I can see your traces in the ink that soaks through the fiber, the pulped vegetation. When we become waterlogged
Wait a minute.
and the cage disintegrates, we will intermingle.
I thought there was a statue up here.
Paper aeroplane leaves the cliff edge and carves parallel vapor trails in the dark. We will come together.
Holy shit, that was not a statue. That was not a statue. That was a fucking person. It was the ghost. It was the ghost. That is actually pretty cool design. Like, just a certain point. I always like it when, like, games kind of do that. Fuck with your head. In a good way. It's like, in the thinking, it's like, oh, I'm gonna check out this statue up here. That's what exactly I was gonna do. And then I just noticed, like, there's nothing up here. What the fuck? It makes me wonder if I look back and there's just something over there. Yep. Yeah, speaking of delusions.
If only Donnelly had experienced this, he would have realized he was his own shoreline, as am I. Just as I am becoming this island, so he became his syphilis, retreating into the burning synapses, the stones, the infection.
Okay. Alright. I don't know if I want to become the syphilis that overtook me, but whatever. Also, my character's starting to move just a tad bit slower again. No way this candle's giving off that much light. My dick.
Returning to my car afterwards, hands still shaking, and a head split open by the impact. Goodbye to tearful aunts and traumatized uncles. Goodbye to the phenomenal. Goodbye to the tangible. Goodbye Wolverhampton. Goodbye Sanford. Goodbye Cromer. Goodbye Damascus. This cliff path is slippery in the dew. It is hard to climb with such an infection. I must carve out the bad flesh and sling it from the aerial. I must become infused with the very air.
Oh, this is a bunker. Oh. Definitely not a World War II bunker from what I see, unless it is. The walls are a little too thin. Get up. Looks like the sun is starting to rise in the game a little bit. It's been all night. So, hey, another game that technically takes place all night. Late shift in this game. Played 2 games that within the game itself was night to day. And hopefully by the time you wake up it would be daytime as well.
Blind with panic, deaf with the roar of the caged traffic, heart stopped on the road to Damascus, Paul sat at the roadside hunched up like a gull, like a bloody gull. As useless and as doomed as a syphilitic cartographer, a dying goat herd, an infected leg, a kidney stone, blocking the traffic bound for Sanford and Exeter. He was not drunk, Esther. He was not drunk at all. All his roads and his tunnels and his paths led inevitably to this moment of impact. This is not a recorded natural condition. He should not be sat there with his chemicals and his circuit diagrams. He should not be sat there at all.
Man, we're super tall now. Is it me or we almost glitched through that area right there? That'd be crazy if we can actually fall off this. Is it trying to snow? I think it's trying to snow. I think this would be high enough for snow to just come out of the blue, unless it's just not so clean and clear of air.
We will leave twin vapor trails in the air, white lines etched into these rocks.
Oh.
Dear Esther, I have burnt my belongings, my books, this death certificate. Mine will be written all across this island. Who was Jakobsen? Who remembers him? Donnelly has written of him, but who was Donnelly? Who remembers him? I have painted, carved, hewn, scored into this space all that I could draw from him. There will be another to these shores to remember me. I will rise from the ocean like an island without bottom, come together like a stone, become an aerial, a beacon, that they will not forget you. We have always been drawn here. One day the gulls will return and nest in our bones and our history. I will look to my left and see Esther Donnelly flying beside me. I will look to my right and see Paul Jakobsen flying beside me. They will leave white lines carved into the air to reach the mainland, where help will be sent.
Don't do it, no. Oh, that man flying. Oh, birdie. It turned into a bird. Kind of funny. Both games around an hour, 30 minutes each. And they're both kind of pretty different too, which is kind of funny. Also, it almost looks like we're black and white. Are we black and white? Nah, we're not black and white. Wow. The lack of light actually makes it look like we went black and white for a second. Freaking hilarious. Voice acting literally should be only like maybe one person. Unless that person played as I think there was only like one voice. That's kind of funny, but yeah, there you go. There's Dear Esther, late night. Late shift, all in one night. Hopefully, it helped you guys get a little bit more tired and everything like that. It's kind of more of a different stream. I think if we can ever get more relaxing games that aren't super long or something like that, even though like I think Late Shift isn't really a relaxing game, it's still a game where you don't have to put a lot of like super amount of effort and thought into when you're actually playing the game. It doesn't really stress you out. So it's like one of those games where you can kind of play it and not have to really worry about like messing up unless you're going for a certain achievement, which I guess if you're going for a certain achievement, you already know what what choices you need to make. So all I have to do is just get ready to make that choice. There you go. But yeah, I think that is it for tonight. And then we'll I think we're gonna try and finish Hitman tomorrow, unless Laura's gonna stream tomorrow. I'm not sure. I haven't talked to her.